Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Come along with me on this walk from IT Park in Cebu, used to be an airport, to Ayala Mall. And yeah, the IT Park is a city within a city. I'll tell you more about that. There used to be many vendors here. Where are all the vendors? Many vendors.
They're caught.
Huh?
They're caught.
They caught the police. The police.
Yeah.
Ah, made them go away, huh?
Many vendors.
Yeah, many before.
Before. So many vendors
Yeah,
before.
police chase them away.
But
Yeah. Yeah, sidewalk vendors here, very popular, and lots of food vendors, primarily food, and always had a big crowd around several of the vendors as well. Maybe some of the other restaurants complained they were taking some of their business. Anyway, I'm going to try to cover a lot of topics on this walk. I think about 25 minutes in this video. I stop and talk to a couple people along the way, and I'll turn the volume up. With my editing, I turn the volume down for most of my editing, but I like to leave some of it there. I used to turn it down a lot more than this. And but anyway, I'm going to cover a lot of topics. Many of you know that I got married. I got married on Saturday, September 13th. Relatively small wedding. We had a reception at Draft Punk, which is up by Mango Square area. Anyway, let's listen in here. Is this Lazada?
no.
Shopee?
Yeah.
Shopee. How many do you deliver every day?
Maybe 100 plus.
100 plus.
Yeah.
They pay you a salary or piece by piece?
By piece. 20 by piece.
Huh?
20 by piece.
20 by piece?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now join the.
If I heard him properly, he gets about 25 pesos per piece he delivers, something like that. Anyway, yeah, I got married, and yeah, less than a week now. So yeah, loving the whole situation here. This was later afternoon, and a lot of these food vendors are set up, and most of them are not on the sidewalk. They've got little areas there. Lots of friendly people. I was doing some condo videos. Many of you know I do a lot of condo videos, condo subdivision, and doing more and more of that type of thing. And I'll have those up in the coming days. But yeah, kind of recuperating, getting back to normal life after my wedding. And anyway, yeah, today I had a termite company. A couple guys came in, and I've got some termites. I'll do a different video about that. And he said, "Oh, bad news! Most of the termites are dead." And I thought, well, that's probably a good thing, because I spray every couple of weeks. I spray a couple places. There's up in the ceiling. There's some plywood, and they just get into that plywood area. Now it looks like it's all concrete, but it's painted plywood. And anyway, he did find some live ones, and I said, "What are you going to just make a hole in that plywood and spray some chemicals up there?" He said, "No, they'll just move and come back." He said, "So you bait them just like you can bait ants and roaches and that type of thing." So he's going to make a quote to the owner and see what she says. And I know several people in the building who have termites, so I will pass along the information to them as well. And then I've got to get the AC cleaning done. I've got a one split type aircon unit and one window type. And about every 4 months, I've been cleaning those myself, but there comes a time when you got to bring in the big guns, the guys with the high pressure washer, and get it done, clean it up additionally well. Anyway, got that coming in I think another week or two. One question I get a lot is, how do you set up your utilities? If you rent a place, set up your utilities, where do you pay the bill, how do you pay your rent, and yeah, it really depends. I have paid, in my first place, I paid utilities directly at the front desk of the condo I stayed in. The next place, paid I paid the utilities directly to the landlady. She included that on the rent, and she gave me deposit tickets and her account number, and I would go to the bank and make the deposit, and then she would pay the utilities. I rented two different places from Australian, and I actually paid I paid the utilities at the through one of these payment places, and I paid like the electric and the water, and I paid him through PayPal, deposited in his bank in Australia, which created a little bit of confusion sometimes because we're going from pesos to Australian dollars, and I was paying him pesos, so what he got would vary depending upon the exchange rate when it was converted to Australian dollars. There was a vlogger early on, 10 years ago, that said, our electric was shut off. I was waiting for a bill and never got a bill, so I never paid anything. And don't wait. You know you're going to get an electric bill. I had something similar happen to another friend just recently. Didn't get a water bill. It was a couple months before he ever got an electric bill, longer than it should have been. And he finally got that. I think the agent on the deal finally got that information to him. But yeah, this guy, you need to be proactive. Put it that way, proactive. Just because you don't get a bill doesn't mean you don't have to pay it. So find out one way or another, and whether you're going to pay it. There are payment services. The malls have their customer service desks. You can pay all of these, virtually all of these money transfer places, and there's 2 or 3 on almost every block, depends on what part of the Philippines you're in, will take payment. You need the account number and the amount, the name on the account, and you go in there and fill out the little form and make your payment. They give you a receipt. Even 7-Eleven, you can do it at 7-Eleven, has little payment kiosks. Friendly Filipinos wherever you go, especially if they see you have a camera. And it's like everybody's a vlogger anymore. You see all kinds of people walking around with cameras, doing their thing. I'm curious, how many of you have made a trip to the Philippines? All right, yeah, Avenir. I did a video in there when it was under construction. They gave me a hard hat. One of the few companies that'll let you on site, would let me on site, many years ago. And another condominium going up there. I need to get in there and do a video at their showroom. Another question I get often is, how do you set up a bank account? Can you set up a bank account? How do you go about it? And that type of thing. Generally, you need an ACR card, Alien Certificate of Registration. You apply for that when you're here, when you're doing your tourist visa extension or other thing, about 30 days, or about 60 days after you're here, 60 days. And different banks have different policies. It helps sometimes. Some banks are more lenient about opening up a bank account for a tourist, somebody on a tourist visa. But think about that. If you're a bank, there's a lot of money laundering going on. Do you want to set up an account for every person, probably short-term stayer, on a tourist visa? In fact, I've recently read, I follow the news in Thailand, and even in Vietnam, and they've been cracking down. They've been freezing accounts and trying to stop the money laundering, freezing accounts, closing accounts, and it's taking some people several months to get their money back, and for a number of different reasons. But I'm hearing more and more things about that in the news and from vlogs coming out of those types of areas. So not happening here. I think it has something to do with the digital ID, trying to move a lot of people into digital ID and digital money, so that they can track where your money's coming from, where it's going to. Part of the you know, there are those self-appointed elites in the world that want to have full control and even decide how and when you can spend your money. And I don't know if it'll happen in our lifetime or not, but anyway, have you been to the Philippines? If you have, how many times? What areas have you visited? Have you been to other Southeast Asian nations? And if you haven't been to the Philippines, do you plan on coming yet this year or early next year? Just curious. As far as banking, I will do another video about that soon. Couple things. There are 2 or 3 different banks that have branches in the United States and probably other parts of the world that also have branches here in the Philippines. HSBC is one. And I've been told that they've been, banks can change their policies and often do. I was told HSBC requires a higher deposit than the many banks, but if you can open up an account in a Philippine bank in your country, USA for instance, and then it's much easier, I would think, to open up that account in a bank here and transfer money back and forth that way. I'm going to do another video soon about banking and money, and also about mailing addresses and how do you handle your mail when you're out of the country, and especially if you're getting a pension, that type of thing. Can you use a foreign address and get your money? Anyway, lots of different information to go over. Another food vendor, they probably live in the back or on the second story, something like that. I have another topic. I have lived in 6 different condominiums, different parts of Cebu City, in the 10 years I've been here. And I've moved for a number of different reasons. Noise was one, trying to find a place with less noise, trying to find a little bit better place. The first couple of places I lived in were small, very small little studios, and wanted a little bit better place. And anyway, I've got a fair amount of experience walking around, taking videos. I started doing that. The real estate agents in the malls would grab me and say, "Come and look at my condo right now." And I'd take video, put it on my channel. It became fairly popular. People asking me for more information, that type of thing. What do they rent for? What do they sell for? And I've been doing more and more of that the last few months. Anyway, something interesting happened in the condominium that I live in. I've been here a little over 3 years now, and I've renewed my lease each time, and I have a good relationship with the landlord. Getting things done. And I take care of the little things. She appreciates that, and but I call her on big things like termites or something other major, and they pay for those types of things. But in the elevator today, there was a sign. We've had basically 3 years, 3 different management. We had the management, the owners in the management, the first year. Then we had Colliers, a international property management company, for about a year. I think they had a 3-year contract, and they mutual agreement that they would step aside. They brought in another management company. I'd never heard of before, but apparently they're fairly popular. A dog's life. A dog's life. Just lay down wherever you want. Take a nap. But anyway, there's, the condo I live in is 33 floors, and it's studios and 1 bedrooms primarily. About 13 years old, and has a lot of Airbnbs here. A lot of Airbnbs. Well, there was noticed in the elevator by this new management company, and I don't know if they decided that or they must have consulted with the owner, who also owns Crown Regency, Club Ultima, the Crown Regency hotels here. And it says no more short-term rentals. No more such as Airbnb, Booking.com, that type of thing. So there's got to be a lot of not very happy owners that they were making their money off of short term. Nothing less than 6 months will be the least, and will be strictly enforced, is what the sign says. So I have not had any issues with Airbnb. One thing with Airbnbs is that they're moving in and out every day or every couple of days, and partying, making noise, leaving trash, different things like that. I don't have anybody below me or above me. My landlord owns the 2 studios right next to me, and those are students, nursing students. Never have any issues with them. Rarely hear any news through the walls, and like once a month there's some construction going on up above me for part of a day, a little bit of banging around, but then it stops for another month or 2. But yeah, these usually it's the high end, the more expensive luxury condos that do that type of thing. Rarely have I seen it in the older mid-range type condominiums. So, even if you bought in with the understanding that I know another place, pretty nice place, in fact, over on it's one of those luxury type places over on Mactan Island, and the person bought it under the agreement that she could Airbnb it out, and a year or 2 later, they told her, "Oh no more short term." And she's fortunate enough to have a long-term renter in there for, I think, 3 years now. But yeah, just little issues like that can throw your whole plan off. It is a warm or even hot and humid day. Little internet. You can stick some coins in there. Peso Wi-Fi. Peso Wi-Fi. You put a little money in there, and within the immediate area, you've got a Wi-Fi signal. See those every once in a while. And what you have inside this little cubicle here is a Wi-Fi, what do they call it? Internet cafe, and they'll scan and print stuff for you too. They got some printer in there. People ask me, where do you get things printed? We don't have an Office Max or Office Depot and all those other places that do that. There are occasionally you can find something like that, but not very often. It's usually just a hole in the wall type place that there's a couple of them near me where a lot of the nursing students, they're all lined up all the time. And when I need something printed, I email them the copy, and then they email me back when it's done. In the U.S., I always had a printer. And they're more expensive here. much more expensive. I don't know, custom fees or what, but generally their electronics is more expensive here. 15-20% has been my observation. But yeah, it is warm, hot, and humid, but not as hot as Phoenix or Las Vegas, two places I lived in for decades. Not as humid as many parts of the USA, other parts of the world. Humidity ranges anywhere from 60s to the 80s. I mean, if it rains, it gets close to 100% for a little while. That guy fixing a tire, you got these street side vulcanizers fixing tires and various things. But yeah, I actually was not too sweaty on this walk. Of course, you can see it's light. People are putting their lights on. It's late afternoon. Getting close to 6 o'clock, I think, when I walked this area. Very busy intersection. As I get down here further, you'll see. And no traffic lights, no traffic enforcers. But it works. It's efficient. One side goes for a while, the other side sticks their nose out. They wait for a while. Very rare that you hear a horn, impatient horn blow. It just works. Lots of little alleyways with thousands of people living back down these little walkways. Those taller buildings straight ahead, right there on the right, that's the Park Lane. I believe that's Park Lane Hotel. Some of you have stayed there. And then you've got the Quest Hotel just in front of this other one. What's the name of that one right there I'm looking at? I'll think of it after I'm done with the video, probably. I've done a video in there. Mandarin Plaza Hotel. Burger place, Angel's Burgers. I've eaten at one of those before. Very inexpensive, but 2 burgers and 2 buns. I said, put the 2 tiny little burgers on 1 bun, please. Every city is a little bit different, but yeah, you get people putting their tables, these food vendors putting a little table out, and different places you walk. Really difficult to all kinds of things to trip on. And yeah, gosh, 1.5, 2 years ago almost already, I was walking late at night downtown Cebu City, and I tripped over something, went down fast and hard, didn't have time to react, dislocated my shoulder, shattered my socket, and 5 days in the hospital. They put $1,000, about 50,000 pesos worth of titanium in my shoulder, which reminds me, I still have to get that's going to send off the sensors in the airports next time I fly, I think. So I need to get a letter from the doctor saying what I have there, I guess. But here is this crazy intersection up here. And yeah, it's a very, very busy intersection. And just sit here and watch for a while. I've driven my motorbike through this intersection. Yeah, you just get in a group and they all from one direction. They all go for a while, and they give way. They give way to the people coming from the other direction for a while. On a rare occasion, you'll see a traffic enforcer somebody out there trying to direct traffic, get 2 or 3 of them out there. Hopefully they're coordinating. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Safe travels to you all, and we'll see you in the next video.